Go ahead and see if it's is it just pausing or.
It's going.
Okay, so again, you can see this is a professional operation from start to finish. Okay, first of all, you guys remember infamous hole? We talked about this hole several times last year. I think 3 times I mentioned how I was going to dig that hole. And you know what? I did mostly, but it's like rained all but what, 4 days this year. So every time the water and leaves and the other garbage that's in there, if I can get that out here in the next couple of days, it's actually deep enough for the water barrel. And we'll explain what the water barrel is about, but that's the hole. One thing I always do is I check for snakes. Okay, so here is the pad. It's the same pad as last year, and some of the same equipment. Okay, let's start over here. We see the green conduit. Again, that's not the pipe itself, but the pipe, which you can see part of it here, will run from there. And again, it's going to be gravity fed. We'll have a couple of barrels that I started working over there. They'll be cut in half, and there'll be planters right there. But then the water's going to come down here. And this is going to be the first water bed, the raft bed. You guys remember last year, this is one we used last year. We grew lettuce and stuff like that in there. You see all this water in here. I've drained this thing numerous times, but we get so much rain. It was almost empty Thursday, and see it's full again. So, you know what? Maybe we should just put the fish in here and eliminate the middleman, right? Okay, so this is going to be a raft bed, and you can see the fiberglass thing with the holes in there and the little cups. We plant the cups, we plant the plants in a cup like this with a little bit of rock, and then they fit inside there, which keeps it down here. So the roots are always underwater, and that water again is going to be nutrient laden, and it is remarkable how well it really fertilizes and makes these things grow. Last year, or 2 years ago, before we introduced the fish, we had pretty good success. Things were growing, but after we introduced the fish and got that poop water flowing, man, it just blew up. So from the very start, we'll have it this year. We'll see how it looks. So we've got that there. So the water's going to come down. It's going to flow into here, and that's as far as the pipe goes. And gravity is going to keep on working its wonders. Isaac Newton was so cool when he invented gravity, because we really used it. If he hadn't come along, you know, we wouldn't have it, we'd be in trouble. So water will go from here, and then it'll flow into here, going out. If you want to, you can come over here. Okay, the water will get to a certain level here, and it will drain into here, which we're going to have another raft bed. That's going to be another thing where we have it, the roots will be exposed, and we're really looking forward to seeing what we can grow with it. Now, after that one, after it fills up, it is going to drain, and you can see a pipe coming over into this one. This one here, there's not going to be any water in it. It's going to be gravel, and we're just going to use that for the growing medium. And again, the water will come up and go down, and that's part of the systolic-dystolic thing that makes this thing work. And what I just said, I don't know what that means exactly, but basically the water level goes up, and then it comes down, and as it comes down, it sucks all the moisture out. So the roots aren't staying entirely immersed in water, but they're getting plenty of water, and they're getting plenty of that nutrients. And the entire time this is going on, that nutrients, which in other words is fish poop, it is being filtered through the plants. So the plants are picking up the nutrients, and so far it's made about half its lap, and then it's going to come over to right behind you, going to this long trough looking thing. This is going to be our tomato bed. 2 years ago, as some of you may or may not recall, we grew tomatoes and peppers and all sorts of stuff in pretty much the same planter. In fact, I think it was this planter. And what ended up happening is we had to go to Kentucky for an emergency, and we were gone 10 days, and when we got back, we had a jungle. Everything grew together and twined together. It was horrible. And so this year, we're going to be smart. All the melons and stuff are going to be outside. Tomatoes are going to be in here, and I'm really going to be ambitious. If not this year, then next year. We're going to have 8-foot walls, and hopefully we can show you that tonight when we do the second video. But we're going to have 8-foot walls, and hopefully what will happen is these tomatoes will start growing up. Last year, or 2 years ago again, we started at this level. So when they grew, 5 foot, they were right at the ceiling. Well, we're starting more like, what you'd say, about 2 feet, 2.5 feet there. So let's say they grow 6.5 feet, which we want to see at least that, then we're going to attach rollers and hooks to the ceiling, and we'll be able to attach the top of the tomato plant to the bottom of that roller system and just slide it over. So the plant will come up, we'll pull it over so that it is still growing, but instead of going straight up, it's going to be curving. And so theoretically, and I saw a video, which is always dangerous, and there was like a tomato plant that was like 20 foot long. If I get a 20-foot long tomato plant, man, I don't know, that'll be so cool. I mean, seriously, it'll be cool. But I'm just looking, if I get like a 10-foot one, I'm gonna be happy just so I can play with this. So that is what we're gonna do. We're gonna plant a whole bunch of tomato plants. We're gonna try and make them grow real tall, and we're gonna just see if we can just get like a 10-foot tomato plant and go from there. So when I first started this thing, I told you that this is experimentation and learn. We know this, that really I have not made anything grow yet. I just plant it and then God makes it grow. So I've asked God for a 10-foot tomato plant. We'll see how that works. Okay, so that's kind of how this is going to work. Now the water, let's go back to the water. The water, as it's going all the way down here, we have the sump pump, and really you can see what the water level is. You don't see any water. This thing is full of rocks, but the water level is actually right there. So it's full of rocks, but it's also full of water. Now that water, when it gets to a certain level and it's operational, that water is going to pump out down through here, and then we're going to have a pipe, and it's going to come back to this hole. Now in that hole is going to be a blue barrel like that one right behind you there, going. A barrel like that, in fact maybe that barrel there, will go in here, it will collect water. It will collect water, and then another pump will run it back up through a hole right there in the screen or a hole in the wall. I haven't decided for sure how we're going to do it, but anyway, the water's going to come back. So again, gravity fed through all the system. It comes back to here. By the time it gets up to there, that water's clean again. Would I drink it? Sure, because I just use water from the tap anyway, and it will be clean. That's just the cool thing about this here. It's a closed system, and if you really work it, you can make it even more closed. There are plants you can grow that fish like to eat. So theoretically, I could grow that plant and just throw that in there and never have to do anything. It'd be an absolutely, totally closed, contained system. But we're getting as close as we can, and again, this is more for fun than for scientific, educational, or economic purposes. So let's go talk about the other side. I don't know why I'm using a fish net for a point. Okay, over here to our left here, on the right side of the fish hut, last year we put in, from left to right, raspberries, blueberries, and blackberries. The blackberries just went crazy last year, and we just had a tremendous amount. We had some raspberries, and the raspberries going on a, what did you say, those were like particularly sweet, good raspberries? And that was the first summer we did them. So again, we didn't know what we're doing. Kathy Lynn, the wild woman from Kentucky, is actually in charge of this. I designated this as Kathy's berry patch. So she's gonna get out here and trim it up and get it ready. She's just like me, she hasn't had the time or the weather to do it. Okay, the water I told you about, let's go over here, that way we'll be out of the sun too. Water is going to come out, and if you look at the downspout, probably about 2 foot over is where the hose is going to come from. And it'll be at about that height, and as it comes down, it's going to gradually come down. And going, if you want a pan, it's going to go down to about maybe halfway between this last wooden planter and the fence. So you can kind of see it's going to run a long ways, but at various points, like right here, for example, if Kathy wants water for the berry plant, I'll have a shut off right there where she can collect some water if she wants to. For each of these, and again, I'm hoping to make 6 of them, for each of these, the same thing. So as the pipe comes down, there'll be a turn off, a spout, and then as I need them down that way, and then at the end, I'll end with the big faucet at the very end. Now, the idea is that not to constantly have them running like we are in there, but just when you need water, depending upon the plants that we decide to do, you just can have the water right there, and it just makes it convenient. Plus, again, it's going to be the same kind of water as is on the other side. So the bottom line is when it's done, you're going to have the greenhouse over there, fish hut, 6 of these planters, and I'm going to get some fruit trees to try and do a little bit of that too as well. So this entire side of the house, the yard, will be agricultural, and we'll see how it goes. It's ambitious, but it's doable, and it's nothing else. What I've kind of learned is that in a small amount of space, if somebody really knew what they were doing as opposed to me, they could grow a ridiculous amount of food and really help feed a whole bunch of people. So I'm kind of curious. Again, I'm not doing this for any money-making purposes. When it's all grown, if you want some, come over and get some. I better modify that. Call first. Call first. But anyway, that's the project. And again, Dwayne Army is behind the camera. He's the brain, or the muscles of this operation. Got some other friends from church doing this, and asking to pray for us that we don't get hurt, or that Dwayne drops in, or anything untoward happens. Okay, so that's it. First video of the year. I'm going to send this off, and in time we'll probably do another one. I would like to say, if you're curious about doing this, stop by. I'm more than happy to let you wander around, take a look, ask questions, help, whatever you want to do. Just either contact me at dacundiff@gmail.com or email me there. That's basically it. dacundiff@gmail.com. So that's it. God bless you guys, and God bless us.